Hey, party people, it's Cliff. Let's fix Supergirl, right? Now, I went to the theater, I saw it, spoilers, of course, and I thought it was half and half. Like, visually pleasing, good fight scenes, like, all of the ideas in it, they had their moment, right? Like, and I'm not gonna remember the actors or any of the girls' names, but I'm gonna talk about the movie as what we could do to make it actually better, right? And in the first scene, the family dies. The brother dies, and he gets in there. And you're in this moment, you're wanting to feel for, hello neighbor. You're wanting to feel for the. Oh, we got to get around here. We'll be okay. But you're supposed to feel bad for the girl who is, gets her father's weapon and goes off into the world seeking revenge, right? And the whole idea is that she's never killed anything before, so how is she going to kill this big old bounty hunter, right? And I think what you need to do is you actually need to have that family survive, and survive in a way where the bad guys actually take, they take her brother, or they take the brother, they take the mother, and then they try to mold the brother into one of their own, and take the mother and then put her into like the birthing right, like folks, because the whole idea of the bad guys is that they're an all male race, right? So they need to kidnap women, and sort of the weapon is sort of a MacGuffin. And I really think that if you wanted to fix the movie, you should make it whoever wields the weapon sort of gains a power, right? So it's a magical weapon instead of a blade. And then the daughter could have a moment with her father, and then the father dies, and then that instills the moment of her to like seek out revenge, right? And I think the tricky thing is with like any Superman or Supergirl movie is how do you make a character such as Supergirl vulnerable and like without kryptonite? And I think Superman, the latest James Gunn one, did it all right, where it's like actions have consequences, and being all powerful means that if you try to save one person, another person dies, right? It's the trolley and the trolley on the train track situation, right? Pull the lever, save one, don't pull the lever, kill 20 or whatever. And so with these big blockbuster movies, you really need to have a simple premise and a simple story on why. And to really kill off the girl's family at the very beginning, it's just like, it leaves a sour taste in your mouth, right? Like, because the girl is now, and what's she gonna do? Seek out revenge? Like, I think logically that's a little bit too on the nose, because it's like, well now, because she's seeking out revenge, Supergirl has killed people, and they're like, we don't want to kill them. It's like, all right, well, the family goes off, and then you got to rescue the family, right? And then, take out Jason Momoa's character. He doesn't need to be in the movie. He adds nothing. Take out the scene where she drinks the cup and she gets poisoned. Or like, you serious? And maybe the techno mages that come onto the bus and like, try to steal everything doesn't work. I think poisoning of her dog is a good and a reasonable like reason to move forward. But I think if you have Supergirl come in and like, hearing about this magical weapon that can actually like take and destroy Kryptonians, then that's like a little bit more of a fear, more of a like, oh, like this is the actual weapon, and if these villains get this weapon, then it's going to be hurt. Then they're going to like rule the universe type of thing. It's like, oh, okay, big stuff. What else? Like, I think Jason Momoa's character could be in there, and then he's also trying to get the weapon because he's trying to, capture the guy for the bounty hunter, or rather, I think that Jason Momoa's character should have something damaged to him, like his family was taken away. So like, his backstory of his family is taken away. That way you can have the him and the girl with the weapon like have their little like moment, better than just in the prison cell. So he like cares for her as a daughter that he lost, and like then they get their revenge. and then in the end, instead of like, instead of wielding the sword to kill the super, they actually hand it to Supergirl, and now she has the sword. Now she's like powerful, and then all powerful, and then she actually like spares, and then the decision comes, right? Because Supergirl, like the whole theme of the movie is that Supergirl has killed all of these people and like has no regrets, and it's changed her. And then the one moment of reflection, she could be like, I have this sword. Now I'm like super, super powerful for the bad guy. And then, spares his life. And then, then you can go in and like rescues the family, frees all the people, frees all the other mothers that are in there. And then you have sort of this like, evolution, like everybody changes, everybody evolves. Like the girl's mother comes back, the brothers come back, or they save all the young boys from all the, the tyranny that this race has like caused too. And so you get, so with those ideas, you get a little bit more layers. You get a little bit more, you get a little bit more heart-to-heart moments with all the different characters. And I think like, this movie, it's one of those things where a lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are bashing at it, but that's because it was half and half. It's enjoyable to watch, as like visually stunning, alien creature design, character designs, like the way that everything's great. Action is kind of like whatever, but at the end of the day, I think you can keep all the same stylistic things, but if you just change those small factors, right? Like, the family is kept alive and they have a purpose, right? And the weapon is magical instead of just this like weapon that nobody cares about, like the weapon has powers. That's why everyone is seeking it. That's what is it? The MacGuffin? Not the MacGuffin. I forget what. That's the part of the film that everybody goes to, like as regarded. And then you have a good movie, right? Like you save the like there is a part where I think would sit bad with audiences, where it's like the bad guys actually come in and kill the like the family and the daughter and all that. And that should have been a team up moment if they really wanted to do, right? Like her parents get killed, and then whoever that girl is, like, that was been captured all this years, also is seeking revenge and teams up with Supergirl and whatnot. Like that would have been better handled. But they just killed them off, and you're like, well, okay, like I guess they didn't serve any purpose whatsoever, and I think like this movie, just like any of the big blockbuster movies, you always have a creative there's so many different like hands in the pot, and you really need to have like just one person like, going through and like really getting the story down and really like figuring out, because I bet that Supergirl, like to read through the script, was an amazing script to read, but when you translate those themes and ideas to a visual medium, it can get lost in the weeds. And I think that's what happened, right? Because there's words like James Gunn coming back in because they were worried, and yada yada yada. And whenever you have like big IPs like this, it's always tricky to like, one person's vision gets clouded with another person's like vision and take on it. And of course we're talking about this after the fact, and that guy just ran a red light. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think it could have been better. And I actually really like the trailer and the billboard where it's like truth, justice, whatever, and Supergirl is just whatever. But maybe those little things could have helped it out a little bit better. Maybe we'll take note. Like, always got to have the family survive, and you got to rescue somebody instead of just like questing after revenge. We already have those revenge movies. So Supergirl is not one of them. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm picking up my mail. Until next time, stay safe out there, and be good. Bye.